All right, welcome again, everyone. Final stage, Lions of Leipzig. Let's see what we've got. Oh, Eric's had a sleepless night. That's terrible. Well, Magnus says, when I win this challenge, you'll get out of my sight. Well, but of course we will, Magnus. Oh, here we go. Beat your previous time. Hopefully it's one of the ones I slowed down on. And this one is the dynamic circuit. Actually change my settings here. Well, that's not what I wanted to do. You actually run it with low brake assists. This is not actually going to be easy because I ran a reasonably good lap the first time. And I didn't actually mean to. But okay, only 2 attempts. Wasn't as bad as it could have been. Would have been really terrible if I ran out of drive tickets. That's just about the one thing on the game you can't watch ads for. Magnus is doing something tuning. So we have to win an autocross, 30 seconds. 30 seconds on the long course. Didn't say don't go off track, but that's actually not a real benefit here, the way the autocross is set up. If you go off track, it's just not going to be good with this setup, because it's really just this one last turn. And I don't think I'm going to make it. And yet again, I'm having a very difficult day in this car. I may have to just put it in airplane mode or something like that to get rid of some of these times. I don't want to do that, but I don't want to use up all my service messing around with these challenges either, so we'll see how that goes. Now, I don't know if it's me. I may just be a bad driver. Apparently I am. But I think there's something different about the settings with the high steering assist in this most recent update. And there you go. You saw me do it. Maybe I'm cheating, whatever. Airplane mode. But the high steering assist settings feel just tremendously it's like it whips the car. It gets in and then just whips the car around. I've actually had events for the 1-to-1 car. I had an event that I lost because I took it into a corner with high assists and it just spun the car almost 90 degrees. Finally. So if you needed one of those races to slow the bots down, obviously the autocross there would have been the easiest one. You can do it with a hunter event or a speed record. It's more tedious because you have to run a full lap. And I'm actually just going to take the assists off. I don't really need them. I sometimes use them to be a little easier, but I'm just going to go through it. Change the sensitivity. I usually run it up at about 8. I like how it feels running at 8. Anything more than that, and I start to lose control of the car, and apparently I can't control this thing at all. I don't really like going across the corner either, but I don't know if I would have been able to win. And I'm just having a terrible time driving this car. I really don't understand it. So 280 meters, I'm actually going to slow down. Because obviously I need all the help I can get here. And I really don't want to have to watch ads to service this car either, but I might have to do that too. Now, speed records are an event where I actually don't mind going off track. I will probably be able to beat this right here. They actually made a recent change for the top speed events to where there's actually a cap on the speed that you can run. It seems to be that the cap is whatever the listed max speed of the car is. I could be wrong there. But with the BMW, the maximum speed you could actually hit was 224.99 miles per hour. And the listed top speed of the car when fully upgraded just happens to be 225 miles per hour. So the evidence would suggest that that's the cap. This next one is not going to be backwards at Spa, so it will be, if that's what the cap is, if it's actually the max speed of the car, it won't come into play on this next one because there's none of the American tracks finish with an average speed of 106 at the long circuit. This is actually easy because it's just, actually it's not as easy as I thought, because it does say you have to stay on track. Going off track, it would be very easy, because you could just cut it across the two corners and they figure average speed very easily. It's just time and distance. However much time it takes you to cover a given distance, that's what your average speed is. So if you cut across the corners, it doesn't register that you cut across the corners. It still registers you having, oh, this is terrible. It just registers you having run the distance of the track. I guess the average speed has to be around 170 kph or something. Ugh. And 70. Sorry for the lack of commentary on this one, but I'm actually having to concentrate so much on driving the car that I can't talk very much. These cars are spaced out at absolutely terrible intervals. I hit them at the really wrongest possible times. Ugh. This is terrible. This is actually really embarrassing, having to do this. The challenges are not hard. I'm just making them look incredibly difficult. I can't even run into the back of another car. I'm doing so terrible. I guess that was Magnus. I'm actually just going to stop this. There's no, I have no chance of making up with that one. A little bit of help from the car in front of me. Well, maybe I have a chance of getting it on the second lap this time. In all reality, as I've said, these should not be difficult events. I'm just having, for some reason, just an extremely difficult time with them, and maybe if everything goes right, oh, well, the suffering is over for that one. Sorry for not sounding terribly upbeat with this one, but it's not all that fun not being able to win. And of course I'm starting last, and it's a rolling start, which makes it even worse. The good thing it's almost like I can't even see the other cars. The good thing about this is if it takes me too long to get to the front, then the front runners will have caught up with all these cars that I've just passed, and they'll be slowed down. And I guess the service is already all the way in the red, so it doesn't hurt anything if I have to go longer than would be anticipated. Obviously this track, if you've seen the video with the FXX endurance race, obviously this track is a one where you almost need to have the stipulation for not going off track, because there's so many places that you could go off track that if you were allowed to do that, you could probably win this event in a lap or two with no service and no upgrades. If you knew the tricks for cutting the track. And before they changed it, it used to be possible to do it even more. I'm absolutely driving these last 2 days. I'm driving like some Just bum. This wall right here, all the wall there that you see in red and white, that is newer than the other green wall. They put that in to try to make it so that you actually have to attempt to stay on the track. Because the way it was before, even in time trials, that was almost not even a breaking point. It was just a little kink. It definitely wasn't. No, it was not the chicane that it's designed to be. And I'm so far behind Magnus, I don't even know where he is. He's completely out of sight. Into the wall again. It's a good thing they didn't mandate no collisions, or I would be bad off. Well, that was nice. Magnus's name popped up, and I'm a kilometer and a half behind him. I'm not sure if I'll be able to catch him without servicing. He's obviously gotten through the first set of the first group of these back marker cars fairly quickly. They don't seem to be slowing him down, and I can't tell if I'm gaining on him or not because he's so far ahead. And the layout of the track makes it so that I can't check it. It almost seems like he's pulling away. Yeah, it does seem like he's pulling away. I'm not sure if I could have beaten him even had I not messed up those couple laps. Well, I've gained some on him. I think I gained And then I promptly just lost it back, obviously. It's like I just have no idea how to drive or something. I'm not sure why I'm still going, to be honest. I guess I'm hoping Magnus is going to have a crash and get stuck in a wall or something. Because I'm certainly not going to catch him. Not like this. Try a different view or something. I don't know. Well, that was terrible, embarrassing.